All right, welcome in everybody. Judgmental TV. It's Tuesday afternoon, a little after 1:30, but it's time to play some baseball. Continue our KBO season with the Hanwha Eagles. Off to a rough start the last time we were with you. Month of March was not kind to our Eagles. Off to a very, very slow start offensively. Our pitching ace was not exactly looking like an ace. And we were near the bottom. We went 1-4. We're in the first games. As you can see over here in the left-hand corner, things have picked up since then. We've played a few games offline. We did some mix of simulating and playing a few games because, like I've said before, I like to play the games. I want to get to know this team a little bit before I make any, major changes to the lineup or trade for a player, whatever. So a few things that we will talk about today, though. We're going to go through the season here. We'll see if we can get through the month of April. We're going to try to get the season moving into a little bit like mid-season. We'll have the All-Star game, I believe, is mid-season in this league. And then we want to get close to the second half of the season as well, just because of the playoff format being exciting and different than Major League Baseball. So we want to go through and experience that and see how much fun this is playing through a season as a KBO team. As I said, 1-4 was our start. Definitely picked things up since then. Month of April has been much kinder to the Eagles. We'll take a look at the calendar. As you can see here, went through the first week undefeated, 5-0. You'll see that tie that happened in the last stream. If you weren't there for that and you're not aware, KBO rules do allow for ties in the regular season. At the end of 12 innings, if the game's tied, it's a tie. You get into the playoffs if that game goes to 15 and it's still a tie. It's called a tie. And you might be saying, wait a minute, how do we end a playoff game in a tie? Well, according to what I've read, Wikipedia, can't be wrong, right? But you play the 15, you have a tie, the game's called right there, and then you play another game. So theoretically, like a 5-game series or a 7-game series could actually have 8 games or more if you have a bunch of ties. So getting into the playoffs, top 5 teams in the division. It is a single division. And right now we are sitting in the 4th spot, incredibly early in a 140-plus game season, but much better place than we were. As I said, we'll look back here at March. Starting here, that was opening day on the 23rd. 0-3 out the gate. Lost the first 2 series. Did a little better. There's the tie in the 2 games that we picked up against the KT Wiz. Those were on Twitch and also available on YouTube now if you want to see any of that. Judgmental TV. And then we get into April. Do great job against Latte and KIW. I'm blanking on who that actually is. The Kaiwoon Heroes. There we go. Learning the names of the players, learning the names of the teams as well. So we get a sweep at home. Take the first 2 out of 3 at Kaiwoon. And then I believe that's Doosan. The Doosan Bears. Played well against them. Now you may notice, let's jump back. You may notice Latte, Kaiwoon, and Doosan all near the bottom of the standings in our division. So we were as well. So you got to beat those teams, and we've played very well against some teams that are on the lower end of the rankings at the moment. But today, change that up a little bit because we're going to play the Kia Tigers. We're playing at home. Kia Tigers, as you can see, 2nd place with an 11-6 record. So that's where we start this thing. And we'll start there. And like I said, we're gonna simulate through some time here. We're not going to try to play all these games, obviously, but we'll start with Kia, and then we'll move on from there. We got Samsung on the schedule, KT on the road, and we get Doosan again. So So yeah, we'll see where we stand statistically. We'll go back and who's playing well. Our shortstop, Ju Suk Ha, is playing pretty good baseball in the leadoff spot. Jung is our second baseman who went over, I believe, his first 23 or 24 at bats, starting to pick things up. He's even thrown in a home run and starting to contribute. Si Hwan No is our anchor in the middle here at third base and in third in the batting order. He also had a slow start, but starting to hit very well too. See the 5 home runs, tied for the team lead in RBIs with Antonio Melendez, our right fielder, occasional left fielder, occasional DH. He's 299 with 3 home runs, switch hitter at the number 4 spot. Che at the DH struggled very much early, also picking it up a little bit here lately. And then going down through, we'll talk about Hyun Bin Moon, our center fielder. That is the 19-year-old center fielder. I don't think he turns 20 for a while. Oh, he turns 20 in about a week. So we won't be able to call him the 19-year-old center fielder anymore. This is a player that we have high hopes for, and he's doing well. I think if he struggled, I may consider sending him down to our minor league squad, but so far so good. I just, if he reaches all this potential, I think that's a pretty good player. And as I said before, I don't know if he's destined to be our center fielder. He's been doing a good job out there. Perhaps he gets moved eventually. He would probably be a better fit in left. And yeah, but right now he is, well, honestly, he's our best option in center field. And so that's why he's playing and he's doing well. Starting rotation has calmed down some. Rue was off to a rough start. I think his first 2 starts. Where's he at now? He's got 4 starts in this regular season. LG smacked him around a little bit. KT was that tie, that 4-4 tie. So better, improving as he goes. Great start against Latte and Doosan. Again, 2 weaker teams, but Rue is supposed to be one of the top pitchers in the KBO. And so far, rough first start, second start, average, and then beyond that, the last 2 have been really good. Castaneda struggling. He should get himself right, though. Good-looking pitcher. Last start wasn't too bad. Went 7 innings, but he did give up 10 hits. So overall for him, needs to get better. And then Vera has been our best starter. If you look at his first 4 starts, or 3 regular season starts, you'll see some probably quality start in each one of those games. Yeah, 5, just 1 run, 7 2/3 the other 2. So we'll take that. We'll take that every time out. And Lee has struggled as we thought he might. Moon, the young man, was pitching very well. I believe his last start was actually pretty good. So not bad. 3 starts in for him. And ERA down to 3.68 now. So he's trending the other way. I was thinking the opposite. Bullpen wise, through our struggles, they were good. This is an area where we'll probably need some help if we think we're going to get in the playoffs. This might be an area, offensive depth and bullpen. We're going to say that every time we stream or every time we do a video here on YouTube as well. We're going to talk about that because I think we're good here. We're good. Our closer, our setup guy, we got some decent arms in the pen, but we may need some more if we're going to be playing against playoff contenders or playoff teams. And today will be another sign of that. It's early season, of course, to be talking playoffs, of course, but we get against the better teams. We're starting to figure out who the better teams are now. Because at first I had no clue who are the good teams, who are the bad teams. And also, honestly, like when you look at our ratings, so you look at our overall, Rue's great ratings. These are all KBO compared ratings. But you'll see that, you look at this and you're not crazy impressed. But as you look around the league a little bit, it might not be so bad. So you just kind of got to figure, if 45 is technically what I would consider it below average, 50 is an average pitcher. At least that's how I approach it when we're playing with any of our Philly or major league leagues that we play in out of the park. But in this league, it seems like maybe that's not exactly the way to. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, is 50 the average, and then everything below that is below average? I don't know. But if I look at somebody's movement and I see 45, I think they have slightly below average movement or slightly below average control. So I might have to adjust that thinking in the KBO. And honestly, like, you can get a 45 relief pitcher in the major leagues if you're playing, again, our 2027 Phillies series that's on the YouTube channel as well. We have 45 overall relief pitchers who do very well, and then you'll have 55 guys who struggle like crazy. So in that area, it can be hit or miss, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We do have, just checking my notes on things I wanted to talk to you about before we start going through these games. Doing this league is interesting because, like I said, playoffs are different. Obviously players are not necessarily household names for me or probably most of you that are watching this. Play style is probably a little different as well. My pronunciation of these names can be bad. So I'm not sure how well this will translate or how well it'll go. What I'm hoping is as we play, we'll get to know these guys and we'll start rooting for Vera and we'll start rooting for Rue and Moon and these guys, that we'll start to connect to them, right? But when it comes to things like, things we love about out of the park and Major League Baseball is having your minor leagues and developing young talent, things like that. Again, covered ground, but minor leagues for us is one team. There is no AAA, AA, developmental leagues, things like that. So there's less of that going on. And look here real quick. I mean, this is the, Hanwha Eagles. We'll go with that. That's our minor league team. We got 51 players down there. Overall ratings, not real high potential ratings overall. Now, again, we just talked about guys in this range sometimes are effective. Sometimes they're not. But there's not a ton of prospects down here. And I'm bringing all this up because where is it at? Rookie draft. Draft pool populated. And as we're going to look at it, do I have all? Yep, I have all players. And something's missing here. What am I doing wrong? These are not all the players. Well, we have, start here. You can see that draft pool, right? Not exactly crazy talent to set you on fire, right? Wanting to draft, but there's actually a couple guys missing here. What's going on? So you can see there is a difference when we switch our scout. I'm just curious. Oh, I have to all pitchers, duh. All right, I knew those guys missing. But okay, so there's only 3 guys with 50 and above potential. So when you're looking at this draft, it's going to be a little different. And there's, I think, 10 teams, and I believe 11 rounds to this draft. So the draft, similar in length. I can't remember exactly how many rounds there are in the Major League Draft, but the talent pool, obviously it's going to be thinner, but it's all comparative, right? It's all comparable. So, some of these 30 guys may end up being on a Major League roster somewhere because they can contribute in some way. So you kind of got to change your mindset a little bit. But all this was to say that there's not going to be a ton of player development stuff going on. So, will that hurt us as far as keeping our interest up in this league? It may. It may not. when I saw that I had the number 2 pick, I was happy about that. So we're definitely going to do this. And right now I'm looking at this right fielder, Yoon Suk Cha. And I'm looking at him because the projection, this is what the league thinks of him. Oops, wrong one. And this is what my scout thinks of him. So my scout thinks a little more highly of him. My scout's not great. His ratings are not fantastic. So, you know, that's why I usually just get a great scout and go with my guy. But I'm going to do both. I'm just going to go back and forth on any players that I'm trying to assess to try to get a more well-rounded thought process, or a more rounded review. He's an average on scout accuracy, so why don't we just order up another scouting report on him and see if we can get that a little better. But yeah, so there he is, 55 overall. But if he becomes this, he's going to be a really good bat. Not great defensively. I could live with him in left if that happens right there. I could live with him. Not a ton of power, but compared to, you know, the rest of the league, he would be a contributing bat. So this is what I'm looking at. As far as the other players go, Lee is listed as a shortstop. I would say, just looking at this, probably a second baseman. Interesting. He has all that power, but I don't think he'll be there. I think the other guy that'll still be there is Koo, right? Is it Koo? Yeah. And better outfielder. You could argue, depending on what you're looking for, that maybe this guy might be the better choice. I'm thinking I'm going with Yoon Suk Che. And if we look at the mock draft, the heroes would take Koo. They think I should take him, and then you go from there. And we won't go through a ton of players here, but you know, here's a relief pitcher, Jun. 20 currently, 45 overall. What's my scout think? Thinks he's a 40, but the league thinks, you know, I mean, I'm not crazy about this guy. If this is his ratings and he's pitching against Atlanta, I'm nervous. But he might be a serviceable relief pitcher in the KBO. You never know. So yeah, a lot of development that will need to happen for these guys. But again, here, you know, I don't know if I'd want him at shortstop, but second base, yeah, runs the bases a little bit, makes contact, a good eye. So, you know, not a guy you build an organization around, but could be a starter. So, all right, so that's a look. Now that draft is not until 8/26. So we've got time to look at this and think about it. But again, I just wanted to show that it's not this incredibly deep draft pool, and yeah, that's not going to be a lot of major league ready talent, KBO ready talent to come in and help our roster out right away. So we'll see how the season goes. If this roster is competing, we're going to run with it. We'll try to improve it if we can, if we need to. If we start to fall out of contention, then we'll look at making adjustments that way as well. But we're open to anything in this season. It's the inaugural season with the Eagles. And right now, not looking bad, though. 10-6-1, a game and a half off the pace of the Dinos. And let's jump over here to the calendar. Is there anything else before we get started? Nope, that'll do it for the intro stuff. So let's jump right in here. Kia He, as I said, in second place. And let's see what happens here. All right, we get a 12-inning win. Nice. 12 innings on the road. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what they got for us on highlights. Vera got the start in this one. Boy, saw a lot of tired guys in my lineup. I got to look at that. I'm not used to simulating a lot of games, so I don't usually have to worry about the settings. There's a bases loaded, 2-out jam in the third that Vera gets out of. Nice job. Top of the fourth, he gets out of a 2-run jam. So Vera getting in and out of trouble. Well, we're not doing much offensively. They're just one hit, not even showing up here in the highlights, obviously, with just one hit. There's a double play. Defense, one thing I wanted to mention, the defense for the Eagles has been pretty good. Turning some big double plays in that 7-2 run to start the month. Covering some ground. Just overall good job. Happy with the defense. Well, here we go, bottom of the fifth. Doesn't look like we're getting anything this inning. So we got no score in the bottom of the seventh. All right, I just love how they put a walk in the highlights. Lefty on lefty, and Che gets him. There's 2 men on, nobody out. Fly out to center field. Not really sure how that makes the highlight reel. Ground ball is that. Oh, nope, they go to first. Thought they were going to get 2 out of that. There's a pop-up. So get 2 men on, second and third. Can't get anything in the seventh. No score. Oh, they dropped it. Oh, man. We'll take it. We will take that 2-run scores. That's why you run them out, kids. Wow, so we get a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the seventh. Jang in the ball game. Now, he was pitching really well. I got to be careful because I have a couple of guys with very similar names, and I don't confuse them. But his first, 3 outings of the regular season were really good, and they got smacked around in his fourth. So his numbers look bad, but he's been good. There's a ground ball. Ooh. Not a double play. Fire down the first. Doesn't get him. Oh, he got him. He did get him. Big second out. Another walk. We have our setup man in the ball game now. It goes by kind of quick. That's always seems to go for me whenever I get these games like this. I get to the reliable part of my pen, and they're the ones that cough it up. That's more of a Philly issue than a Eagles issue, though. Don't have a lot of history with the Eagles here. So we got 2-2, bottom of the eighth. Hit it hard down the line. Nice. Melendez getting a big hit. They love to put walks in the highlights, don't they? Line drive. Dropping. the throw home. Did they hold the runner? Oh, I was wondering. Because we kind of know how this is going to come out. And that didn't seem like that should happen. So there's a big strikeout of on. Definitely chased a bad pitch. And a pop-up behind second base will end the 8th. So we're 2-2. It's the thing also that it drives me crazy about simulating is how the AI uses relief pitchers, and then if I go to jump into play a game, the bullpen hasn't been managed the way I'd like to manage it. I just don't like to run pitchers into the ground, and the park has been in this for a while, if I'm correct. That ball's hit hard, but caught. All right, so there we go, bottom of the 9th. They're giving us way too many highlights. Exchange it first. Got him. All right, come on. All right, top of the 10th. Hit hard, Moon on the run. Can't get to it. Made the slide, couldn't hang on. Now, if you're wondering why there's no camera on today, I was out of town for work this weekend, and my room is just a pile of like uniforms and junk just laying around. So we're not doing a camera today. Now, can't believe they held him, but they did. Come home and they get him. Nice play. It's a good ball game. It's a strikeout. So 2 outs. 10th inning rally. Line drive. Moon will track it down. Oh my gosh, are they going to take us through every inning? All right, we're not going to do this again. So I think this thing goes to the 12th. I thought we'd just look in here and have like a minute worth of highlights and get to see somebody get a double or something. Well, there you go. We called it. Hopefully I misread the score and it was actually a 10th inning win. Boy. I guess Chase still struggling. Oh, back-to-back strikeouts. That'll do it. Kia's out of the 10th. Had a threat there. Oh my gosh, are we going to go through this whole thing? Oh, this was a mistake. I apologize. I mean, it might be fun to see some of the things happening. Oh, he belted that. Was that Kim? Drove that thing to center. That ball was hit on a line, on a rope, as they say. Jung with another good play at second. What? Is that like 5 walks in the highlight reel? That's why I used to edit these things. All right, there's a pop-up. All right, we're out of the 11th. We can just go straight to the 12th, right? No. No, we can't. All right, as soon as I see the yellow, I'm hitting the button. All right, here we go. Top of the 12th. I guess you could say give credit to the bullpen. Another nice job in the pen. Putting up a lot of zeros in this one to keep this one a 2-2 game into the 12th. And here we go. No leads things off in the bottom of the 12th against their closer. He's out at third base. So they get him. He's not our hero. Melendez to the plate now. There we go. We'll take that. So a 1-out hit. Melendez is on first. Kim to the plate now with 1 out, a 2-2 count. Little fly ball in the left. That's caught. We did win this, right? Did he move up? Oh, I see. There's runners on first and second right now. And there we go. There we go. Right field base hit. They will not send the base runner. Melendez will not score. I thought that was it. And here's Lee, shortstop. And he's our hero. There you go. I like that. I like our shortstop. Eagles walk it off. Seemed like we played the whole game. All right, but that's it. We'll go ahead and jump up a day here. I was gonna look at the box score, but we've seen enough of that one. So let's go up here. How are we gonna do? So 11-6. They get us in a 1-run game, 4-3. We'll just look at the box score on this one. Let's see. They had a lefty gone because An is still at the top of the lineup. I still haven't adjusted the lineup. I don't really like having him at the top of the lineup. Maybe it's the best thing. I haven't explored that yet, but just 3 runs on 4 hits for the Eagles, 4 runs, 11 hits for Kia. Lee playing right field. Has 3 RBIs. I should check. Do I have an injury? I'm trying to remember why Lee's in the lineup, but good for him. He's in for somebody that's hurt. But a 1-for-4, 3 RBI day. He drove in all the runs for the Eagles. Kia spreads out the joy. 3-hit games. Park, Byun, multi-hit game for Lee. They all had RBIs. Pitching-wise, Lee went deep in the game. Four runs, 7 2/3. I mean, it's not awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. It's better than 4 2/3 and 7. I'll give you that. And then Zhang back in. And yeah, here you can see that's just his last 5 appearances. He's got 6. But nothing given up in his first 4. They got him. Doosan touched him up for 4, and that's 6-0 loss. And now he's back to putting up 0. So he's pitching well. He's doing a good job. We'll take this. And all right, that's that for that ball game. Back here. And let's play the last game of the series. I'll go up to the 15th. And then with the day off, we'll just look at our lineup and see what's happening. All right, so we lose 2 in a row. 3-0 loss to Kia. Final game. So they take 2 out of 3 from us. No runs, 6 hits. Another lefty. Melendez not in the game. Must have been resting. And all right, we'll catch up on those numbers in a bit. Start was by Rue, so he falls to 2-2. Not a terrible start, though. He deserve a better fate, I think. It's not a terrible start. Han, nice job out of the pen to pitch 3 innings. That's what I mean. They'll leave these guys in forever. And he doesn't have that much stamina either, so it's interesting. All right. Well, there you go. A 3-0 loss drops us to 11-8. What does that put us in the standings? So still hanging in 4th, but now 2.5 back. Not a terrible performance against what right now is one of the better teams in the league. Did pick up a win, lost 2 out of 3. I'd like to see the offense doing a little better in that 3-0 loss, but competitive at this point. And let's see what messages we got. No. Got an injury to our center fielder. That's his second minor, but he's okay. It's all cleared up. What I really like is you see these numbers. Was that always a 65 potential? I thought it was a 60. Well, regardless, anyway. He's got good leadership abilities, good effort, smart player, well regarded by his teammates. I mean, what else could you ask for? Actually, let's do a scouting report on him too and just see where he's at. And another peek at this prospect. I don't think it's changed anything. Well, I don't think they had him at a 25 before. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. It's all right. I don't think my scout had him currently at a 25. That might be an adjustment. I don't see anything that looks different. Overall, definitely stayed the same for our scout. But yeah, good looking player. I like the high contact, decent eye, has some gap power. So this guy maybe is our future leadoff hitter. He's not a great base runner, but so far we haven't run much anyway. But he could hit at the top of the lineup based on this. He could also hit down in the lineup though as well. So somebody that could move around, or you could fit him in where you need him. I wonder if I should flip him to left field though. Oh, I don't have him yet. Never mind. He's not mine yet. Look at the manager's office. If there's anything new on the trading block, no, just 2 guys available. I don't know if we could get this guy if we wanted to because of the international player rules. But if I was going to add to my team, it wouldn't be to the starting rotation. This guy's not... He would be an improvement, but he's also a closer. So I don't know if that would screw with the setup of the bullpen if we'd start having issues. He lacks inner drive, trouble with the mental part of the game. If he's not closing anymore, does that become an issue? So very early in the season as well to be messing with the team. Quick look at how we're doing. Shortstop 304. 352 on base percentage. I'll take that. Jung, as he said, really struggled early. Kind of picking it up. We're going to hang with him a bit in the number 2 spot. No and Melendez doing a nice job. Che not hitting well. Maybe we make a change here. Maybe we flip In-Ho Che and Un-Sung Che. Just because this guy, the left fielder, is hitting better at the moment. On showing some signs here and there. Moon is doing well. I don't want to move him up yet. I just want to let him play down in the lineup. And our catcher, of course, known for his defense, but I think capable offensive player. And we'll take 250. Starting rotation, Rue starting to settle in. Numbers looking better. Castaneda, another start coming up for him. We need to see some improvement there. But Vera's been outstanding. Moon's doing I'll take that from Moon. So, and the bullpen solid as well. Let's look at our lineup. On leading off against lefties. I mean, maybe it's not so bad. You know what? You know what? Maybe that's not so bad. Maybe I'm not so against this, actually. Because, like, he's not a great... He's actually got solid base running. He's not going to steal a ton. Because he's not very fast. He's not very aggressive. But if he gets on base, he's going to be smart. That's what I'm thinking. And then, against lefties, he gives you this gap power and this avoid strikeout. So he's going to make contact. I might like him better second, but I don't know that I have a better option at the top. And maybe we'll discover that as the season goes. But right now, like, now leadoff guy who can get on base and run. The running part fits better for the Ha. Not going to be great against lefties, though. I'll take what he's doing against right-handers up there. Not crazy concerned about the power. Wish his eye was better. But the results so far are pretty good. That's working. 352. Not moving either one of those two up there. Che is just flat out. No, he's not somebody that can hit up in the lineup. He's going to be down in here trying to drive in some runs, which he's not really doing. Hasn't had an RBI in 5 games. What's that? 12, 15, 18. So it looks like he's 3 for his last 18. So he's holding that 130, 131 batting average. Good job. And slugging percentage not killing it. So I think he's going to be all right over the course of the season. But let's make this switch with him. And let's see. Against... Yeah, we can move this guy up. Wow, look at his on-base percentage. How many bats does this dude have? 53, so he's playing. He's getting on. Now we'll move him. We'll just switch these two against righties. And if Che starts to deliver, if Unsung Che starts to deliver, we'll switch him back. And then against lefties, this dude just plain ain't hitting. Of course, he's not starting all the time, but still. 2024 has not been a great season for him. Where's he hitting? I don't want to jump him in front. Don't want to move him up. I guess we'll just leave it against lefties. Plus, you know, He's more likely to maybe break out against the lefty. The ratings are better. We'll give him a chance. All right. So we'll take that. Let's look at who's not in the lineup to see if we're missing anything. This is my backup catcher. Solid catcher. Not such a solid bat. Infield, our utility, sort of our utility guy. We got a couple guys that can move around positions. This guy defensively is solid second baseman. I don't know much about. Yeah, I mean, above average batting average on balls in play. You just got to get it in play, right? And then got Lee. Lee's been in the lineup, here and there. Doing all right. And this guy can run the bases, plays a really good outfield, so he's our defensive outfielder. Not much of a threat at the plate. He has been getting some playing time due to players needing rest, though. So that's it. I think that's all we're going to do with the lineups. I'm not going to mess with anything down here. Just a quick look at the entire bullpen, though. We thought our lefties aren't great, but we thought if they're matched up well, they could do well. So far, it looks like between us and the computer AI and the sim games, they're doing that. Getting good results anyway. So overall, we're looking solid in the pen. Knock on plastic or fake wood, whatever I have around here. So, all right. Let's get back to the calendar. Check the manager's office, see if there's anything going on. Already checked the trading block. All right, let's get back on the schedule. How are we looking here? Near the bottom in offensive numbers, that's to be expected. But near the top in most pitching numbers. Defensive ratings are good as well. So yeah, that's all right. All right, let's go to the calendar. We got a day off. Finish that. Now we are at NC taking on the Dinos. Look at that DH hitting 372 with 11 runs driven in. Manuel Diaz playing first base with 4 homers, 15. Oh, Jo-Won Kim, shortstop, 333, 4 homers, 24 RBIs. So suddenly our RBI totals don't look very good, do they? So good looking offensive squad. Yeah, look at that. Number 1. Number 2 in homers. What's wrong with them? 3rd in stolen bases. Number 2 in bullpen. That's a pretty good looking team. 14-6 is the record. You can see why. The results. The numbers show why the results are there, right? So, here we go. Let's see how we do against these guys. NC Dinos. What's the date? 16. Another loss. So 3 losses in a row. So we're trending the wrong way here. 3-1. Melendez collected 2 hits. How about Moon down there at the bottom of the lineup going 4 for 4? Well, he keeps that up. We might have to move him up. We'll see. But just 1 run on 9 hits. 16 left on base. 3 runs on 7 hits for NC. Castaneda pitched well. Take that. That should keep you in a game. Good job by the bullpen again. And it's just really solid pitching from NC. And Matt Kostick, the starter, is the player of the game. And I'm going to say 64,000. 6,484. Your paid attendance in that ball game. Oh, we got 2 emails. What do we got? We got the preview of them, which I forgot to look at. We're already a game into this. But this is a good-looking squad. Oh, good. We got our update on our center fielder. I don't think anything's changed there. This guy can play second base, too, huh? This guy could play a lot of different places. He could play. I'd put him at second. You could put him in left and right. Does all right in center. All right. That might be man. We're getting hammered here. NC 11-5. Oi. Jung 2 hits. No 3 hits. So we had some offense going. 5 runs on 12 hits. Give up 11 runs on 15 hits. Ugh, who was our starter today? Not a great start for Moon. That is Dongjo Moon. 20-year-old starter. So he's up and down. But at some point I would think about, I'll have to look and see if we have another option. He's at 20 years old. I like where this guy could be as he develops, but maybe he's just not ready yet. And let's see, bullpen got touched up a little bit in this one. Player of the game, Hanwha Park. How did he do? Right fielder, 3 for 5, drove in 5 runs. 348, 16 RBIs on the season. 5 of them come against us today. So, yeah. The Dinos are no joke. And let's go. Here we go. Finish off this series. See how we do in the last game. Let's salvage. Let's avoid a sweep. All right, we got an injury to deal with. One of our relief pitchers. Guess we're going to learn how the IL works in the KBO. This is going to be our first experience. So he is out, shoulder inflammation, 6 weeks. What are our options? Let's trade him. Place on injured list right there at the top. And you got a 10-day and a 60-day. Well, 60 days not going to work. So we'll just go with the 10-day. And we'll replace him, but let's just see. We got the Samsung Lions coming up. 609 winning percentage, so they are 14-9, third place, 3 games out. And we'll take a look at their overall numbers in a second. Best player, Jawu Ku, 31-year-old. He's 70 overall in left field. Goforth, Cody Goforth, starter, 28-year-old. Got a 70 at closer. Solid guy behind the plate, 38 years old, but Kang is a 65 overall. And let's take a look at our roster real quick because we should have an open spot now. Yep, we're going to be a relief pitcher short. Man, we have so many relief pitchers in the minor leagues. All right, well, this guy's our closer. We'll take a look at him. Yeah, potentially. Would like to let him pitch, though. See if this develops out. Just hate to bring a prospect up and just have him getting smacked around for no reason. We'll take a look at these 40s. That guy's going to give up some homers. He's a lefty. Well, maybe we could use another lefty. Kaijun Kim. It's possible. This guy's possible as well. Nobody jumping out to me yet. I mean, I don't expect there will. Lee's a 45 overall, but that's low scouting accuracy. What's the league think? Right-hander. Actually, I probably should look at that. I don't remember. Our injured player is a right-hander, right? Yep, he was a right-hander. Was pitching well, too, man. 1-0 with a 1.74 ERA. That's a shame. Look at the bullpen real quick. Do I want another lefty in there? So if it's a lefty. Be Kang if it's a lefty. Oh no, Kim's a lefty too. All right, so let's see. You know what? It's gonna be Kim. His control might be an issue. I suspect it will be. We're going to bring him up. That'll give us another lefty option out of the pen. He's young. He's 21. We're going to give him a shot. So we've fallen to 11-11 now. Let me get into this. I like looking at the calendar when we're doing this. Man, we are not doing well. We go on to play Samsung. I forgot to take a peek at them. Extra inning loss there. They're 15-9 now. So now we're playing the upper teams in the league, and we're starting to show it in the record as we drift down from we were 4th to the 7th spot and a game under 500. These guys look strong pitching-wise. And runs scored, they're 3rd, but not great in some other categories, but they are scoring runs. That's the whole point to your offense. So if you're scoring runs, that's what matters, right? Starting rotation good at the top, kind of weak at the bottom. I can relate to that. But starters ERA 3rd overall, bullpen ERA 3rd overall. These guys are definitely pretty good, 15-9. Back here, let's break this streak, man. All right, well, we are not taking him out for a day-to-day. Said a week. And we'll see how that goes. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. Well, that means they beat him. Oh, no, he won that game. Sorry. Finally got a win. 6-3. 6 runs on 12 hits. Che breaking through 3 for 4. No 3 for 4. They moved Moon up to second in the batting order for that one. Maybe it is time for that. Offensively for Samsung, 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 of them by Kim leading off. Pitching wise, Goforth takes the loss 2 and 3. Ree leaves after 2 outs. Bullpen did a nice job. Nice job overall to get the win. Knows your player of the game. So we'll just have to keep an eye on Kim before his next start. Or Ree before his next start. Rue before his next start. That guy too. All right, so let's wrap up this series with Samsung. What just happened? Did I simulate that the wrong day? Oh, I just did that. Put the wrong date in, I guess. All right, so when you're simulating this stuff, it's so much harder to manage these injuries. All right, so Castellaneta, day to day for a week with a strained back. I don't know if I'm in love with starting him in that condition. Moon will go in this game. Rue is still day to day with that elbow. Man, we gotta be in some trouble here. All right, well, let's get through the next game, and then we'll make our adjustment. We got KT, the Wiz coming up. We played well against these guys before. Well, they're coming back around. They're 12-13 and 1 now. So they've been playing better. Picking up some wins here. They were under 500. Well, they're still under 500, but they were further under 500, I think, when we last saw them. So we're even with them, actually, in the standings. And look at them overall. Near bottom of the league in most pitching categories, except strikeouts, second in strikeouts. But remember, this is a 10-team league. It's a 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 10-team league. So if you're 8th, you're near the bottom. Offensively, a little mixed. Third batting average, just 6th in runs scored, though. How are we looking on these categories? We haven't looked in a bit. So 4th, starter 4th in bullpen. Some of our relief pitchers coming back to earth. And offensively, man, we are dead last. Runs scored, batting average, on base percentage, OPS. 9th in home runs, 9th in stolen bases. This is why I got to jump in and manage some of these games. Get some things going. But, all right. All right, so KT Wiz. When did we play them? We played them in March, right? Yep, played them in March. We tied and then won the last 2. So 2-0-1 against these guys. They kind of helped jumpstart our nice start to the month of April. So maybe we can get a little momentum. Let's finish today. Now I want to take a quick look at that pitching again. Where is my... I know Moon's pitching today, but are we any closer? 5 days. And he's got an elbow issue, so we don't want to start him. And that puts Castaneda still at a week. Kind of don't want to start him either. It's looking a little rough. Well, let's just play this game and then see where we're at. Did I just simulate that? All right, good job. We get a win against the Wiz. Get things going again. Get back to 500. They had just 1 run on 9 hits. 6 runs on 12 hits for us. Multi-hit games for Melendez, Che, and Che. 2 RBIs for Che, the DH. Still only 176 with a homer. Pitching-wise, Moon with a nice start. The young man bouncing back. He gets the win, the 2-1. Jang, Kim, and Lee out of the pen doing a nice job. That's more of how I would handle a bullpen. That's nice. And player of the game is Dongjo Moon, your starter, who went to 2-1. All right, so let's... All right, so we're advanced to the day. Look at the pitching. It should be up. They're going to skip both. Okay, so Vera is rested. How is Vera 100% rested? I don't know. I'm not going to argue. Lee's ready, so we're good up to there. Now, obviously, there's going to be an issue when we get to Moon in 2 days. But Rue might be ready. Five days, Castaneda will not be ready for his start, so might have to throw someone else in there for a day. And 2 wins in a row. Be nice if we could play the Wiz more often. 2-1. Got a run in the first, a run in the fifth, and that was enough. So the pitching makes it hold up. 2 for 5. Ha leading off. 2 for 5. Jung 2 for 4. Che 2 for 4. He's up to 403 now. We'll take that. No and Melendez combined to go 1 for 6. Moon back down in the lineup in center field, goes 1 for 3, but continues a solid season for him. Just a run on 5 hits for KT. Figueroa, pitched well for them. He falls to 2 and 3. For us, it's Vera. Big start for him. I don't know how many days rest he had. It said he was 100% though, so cool. 2-1, 1.75 is his ERA. And then the bullpen took it from there. Jang Park. Ju gets the 6th save of the season. And Vera, well-deserved player of the game for him. All right, what's the date? We want to go one more. Sweep the Wiz. No, it's not going to happen. 6-0 loss. Keeps us at 500, 14 and 14. KT 6 runs on 9 hits. Third baseman driving in 3. Brown, the right fielder, drove in 2. 0 runs on 6 hits. No had 2 hits. Che had 2 more. So Che, our left fielder, that is Inho Che, doing a nice job. We're looking for offense wherever we can get it at this point. Lee gets the start. 5 innings, 4 runs. This 33-year-old is now, is that 0-3? Yep, 0-3 with a 6 earned run average. Han came in. 3 innings, gave up 2 runs. 2.57. Earned run averages, stats are starting to become a little more stable as we get deeper into this season. Not so up and down after one bad game. But Ko, get your start, get your win. Good looking pitcher. Ground ball guy, I like that. 7 shutout innings against us. 2-1 is the win. So 14 and 14 puts us in 5th. We got going on in the mail. We never checked them. All right, we got Doosan now. Doosan is playing .414 percentage, 12 and 17 overall. They are in 8th, 7 games back. So now we get to that part of the schedule with KT and Doosan now, where we should be able to pick up some wins. We should win most of these games. We're the better squad of these two. Although there are some players on this Doosan team. You can look right here. You've got Miguel Prieto, who's an 80 overall in right field. Efren Reales, we'll say that's his name, 75, a starting pitcher. Closer Hung is a 70. Quarter, the starting pitcher, gives them a 70 at their number 2 spot in their rotation. And they've got an overall 70 in Yang at catcher. So this is not a pushover team for sure, sitting at 12 and 17. Anything added to the trading block? No. Castanado still 3 days left on his injury. We'll take a look at our pitching. Where are we at? We're back to Rue now. Rue, I got it. We're back to Ree. No, it is Rue. I'm so twisted on this dude's name. Anyway, back to Rue. He is healthy, so he's ready to go. That's good. And what will we have? Castanado. We might have to move him back. Let's see if we can get away with doing that. If Vera's ready. No, Vera will not be ready. So maybe we're looking at a spot start here for somebody. Moon's at 39, but we might be looking for somebody to come out of the pen and start a game for us, do a bullpen game. All right, so here we go. We're playing Doosan. We just went over their numbers. Take a quick look at their home screen. And as you can see, nothing crazy standing out to you. Prieto hitting 3rd. That 370 batting average. 364 for the cleanup hitter, Yang. Well, I mean, they're 4th in runs scored, though. So it's a little deceptive, huh? 4th in runs scored, 5th in batting average. 7th in on base. They're a little like my 2027 Phillies. Well, I wasn't 5th in batting average, though, for sure. Let's see. Runs against, they're 7th. Yeah, and you got to remember, it's a 10 league. So when you see somebody that's like 6th in something, and you're like, oh, or 5th, but that's middle of the pack. So 9th in bullpen ERA. All right. Let's head to the calendar. Take this up to the 27th. Let's see how we're going to do against Doosan. Get above 500. Nope. 6-2 loss at home. 6 runs on 11 hits. It's not a... Wait a minute. Did they say... Oh, we won. Why did I see that as a loss? So we get 6 runs on 11 hits. No drives in 2. Che, Moon, and Lee with RBIs. Nice job, Ha, up at the top of the lineup, 2 for 5 again. Average down to 284, but we'll take a 284. I wonder what his OBP is. That's down to 317, so that's something we'll have to think about. Jung, yeah. But no, Melendez doing a nice job. Not necessarily today for Melendez, but again, Moon's solid, man. Moon is screaming to move up the lineup. Good start for Rue. 3-2 now that ERA sits at 3.47. And once we get to the end of this month here, we'll take a look at the league standings and see if any of our players are where they stand as far as comparison to the rest of the league. Let's go back to our home screen. See, this is another reason I hate simulating, is because it seems like there's always an injury to deal with. All right, so our second baseman is out with a hand contusion for a week. I think our only choice is 10 days. Yeah, we're just going to have to do it because we can't play that short for a week. Organization, let's bring an infielder up. Oops. Anybody stand out to me? I don't think, like I said, depth is not exactly the strength of our organization. Looking for a middle infielder that can contribute something. Nope. Maybe. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. All right, so let's go back up. Who was it that we saw? Was it Min Jun Lee? Yeah, I think this guy. I'll bring this guy up. I don't know if he's a starter or if he just backs us up. But Min Jun Lee, you're coming up to the big leagues. And I think we'll put Cho in the lineup for now. Thinking about this batting order. You know what? Let's give it a shot. I know it's two lefties at the top, but it's against righties. See if I can get away with it. And against lefties, Kim hit up there. Yeah, let's put Kim up there. What am I thinking? Yeah. All right. We'll see if they keep that batting order. All right, but we did get the 6-5 win despite the injury. 6 runs, 9 hits. Just looking for some heroes here. Melendez drove in 2. And the shortstop, drove in 2. 5 runs on 12 hits. So plenty of hits for Doosan in that one. Castaneda, not a great start, but he kept us in the ball game. Zhang picks up the win despite giving up a run. Well, in 3 innings. And Hyunbin Moon is your player of the game. Two for 2. Getting 330 now. Getting hard to deny him, right? And if he continues to hit up here and we don't like the 2 lefties at the top of the lineup, maybe we... No, I don't know. I was going to say maybe we flip something else. Maybe slide back. But I don't really have anybody else hitting. You know? Like there's no right-hander to go right there. If, yeah, I don't know. If Jung was hitting, our second baseman, he'd be left, right, left. And then Noah and Melendez. That would get a little more offense deep down in our lineup, deeper in our lineup. But not happening for now. All right, so here we go. We got one more game against Doosan. Took the first 2. Let's see if we can pick up a sweep. I'll have to finish the day first. There we go. I guess I could have just done this, huh? (8-6). We take all 3 games against Doosan at home. That'll help the home winning percentage. 6-2, 6-5, and now an 8-6 ball game. And they threw a lefty, so we didn't get to see our lineup in action just yet. On at the top of the lineups, no hits, but he did score 2. So walked twice. What's his on-base percentage? Maybe there's something going on I'm not paying attention to. No, 273, so it's not great. Nice job. Against the lefty, he was obviously a left-handed bat. Still doing a nice job. Quarter was a lefty, right? Yeah. So good job by No. Nice job by Melendez, just the 1 hit, but he drove in 2. So those 2 are 3 for 7 with 3 RBIs. We'll take that. Jake, another hit for him. Moon back down in the lineup, 0 for 4. Pitching wise, for Doosan, 6 runs on 7 hits, 2-hit game. Yang at first base. Their offense was pretty spread out, though. And then Quarter got the start for them. 6 earned runs in 4 innings. Not a great start. Che comes in, takes the loss. 2 runs and 2 1/3. Moon, not a great start for Moon. Again, we'll take a look at this. Maybe this is something that I'll do offline. Not really in the mood to have this good-looking pitching prospect just getting smacked around. And they aren't exactly a great offense, so maybe that's a sign. Take a look at it. See what our options are, too. I mean, part of that's going to be. Yeah. Well, I guess I mean, what are we going to do? Get worse, right? So have a veteran, an older guy that's not a developing player come up and take that 5th spot. Moon goes down and develops, and then comes back up later in this season or maybe next season if we play another one. Another good job by the bullpen, though. We got 4 2/3, just 3 hits, no runs, and 6 strikeouts. So keep our fingers crossed on that. Jo Suk-ha, shortstop, is our player of the game. Again, he was 4 for 4, 3 RBIs. He drove in a run, 304 on the season, and that on-base percentage back up to 333. So, all right. Let's take a look at the preview for SSG Landers. I'm not sure what SSG, if that's short for something. I assume it's not Staff Sergeant Landers. They are 16 16. They occupy that 6th spot, so they're just off the edge of the playoffs. Look at their middle of the pack in runs scored, bottom in batting average. 255 is 10th in batting average, really? 9th in on-base percentage, OPS 8. First in home runs, though. So, all right, so you see these guys will hit the ball out of the park. Just not going to have a lot of guys on when they do it. And then runs against, middle of the pack, 5th. Starter ERA 5th, bullpen ERA 5th. I mean, that could be just percentage points too. So that looks like some decent pitching. They got Kim and Song in the 5th spot with good numbers. Bullpen numbers, with the exception of Juwan Kim, look solid here. All right, let's get this series started. Oops, can't do it that way. Forgot we got to go to May. And what happens here? All right. Get our first, well, not necessarily our first achievement, but good one for no batter of the month for the month of May. Actually, I bet if we look at our mail, it'll probably give us. Oh, no, I thought for sure there'd be an email. All right, we'll come back to this real quick. Let's look at what got him the batter of the month. Currently, overall, 369, 8 homers, 24 RBIs. We'll take a look at how that compares to the rest of the league. Look up his batting stats. Can't I look at the month? I swore I could break it down by month in here somewhere. I guess I can't. But 369, 439 on base percentage. Outstanding. He even picked up 2 steals along the way. Those 8 home runs. Most of this is going to be in the month of May because there was only like 2 weeks in April that were regular season games. Just 23 years old. Good looking player. As I said, he's a guy that I signed as an international free agent for the Philadelphia Phillies and was in my minor leagues. Is about to probably, if I play the 2028 season, there's a really good chance that No could be either the utility player, off the bench covering a couple different positions, or he could actually even challenge a little bit for the third base spot because the current third baseman, I had Jonathan Guzman, his contact and I ratings and all that stuff just deteriorated rapidly. He's still a guy with pop, but he only hits like 200. He'll hit 31 home runs. He's done it like twice, but he's going to hit 200 and not get on base much. Solid defensive third baseman, but no might challenge him in spring training to get that job. So cool that I just stumbled on the team where this guy was. So that's another thing that makes it interesting to me. And there you can see how he's been hitting over the last 5 days. What's that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for 18? 9, 10. Yeah, 11 for 18. 3 home runs over that stretch. So he's been hot, and that's part of the reason why the Hanwha Eagles are now a 4th place ball club, half a game ahead of the Samsung Lions, just a half game back of LG. The struggle's been when we play these top teams, though. Doing a good job against the bottom of the league. I mean, you got to beat those guys. You can't criticize somebody for beating the bad teams. But are we good enough to beat the top teams? And that's what we're going to find out. 18, 14, and 1, though. Nothing to slouch at. And where's our there we go. There's statistics. There's so many options in this game sometimes. It's hard to find what you're looking for. All right, so batting leaders, we got no 4th. We're just going to look through here and see if any of our folks are top in any category. So, man, No's having a solid season. On base plus slugging, he leads the league. He's 4th, as we said, in batting average. Tied for 3rd in doubles. All right. Melendez leads the league in strikeouts. Good job. Isolated power, I have no idea how you figure that out. But just know that our third baseman is currently the best in the KBO. Home runs, No is 2nd at 8. That's outstanding. WAR, he's 2.2. He's leading the league in WAR, batter WAR. If that matters, I don't know. And let's see, no triples, nobody in the walk category. Didn't expect that. OP plus, No is on top of that. Do we have anybody else in here, huh? No is 3rd in total bases. Win probability added, Melendez is 2nd in that. Some of these stats, though, are just like, I mean, I'm not going to say that the new era of baseball where they track everything like this, I'm not going to say that this stuff isn't right, but, man, sometimes you just scratch your head. They got a number for everything. On base percentage, that's actually a very valuable one. Always has been and always will be. No is 4th in that. Oh, here we go. Sacrifice flies. We got tied for the league with 3. But weighted OBA. Extra base hits. No has 18. That leads the league. And slugging percentage. We'll switch over to pitching. See how the pitching staff is doing. Rivera leading in FIP. All right, well, that's cool. It's better than not leading it. Got 7 shutdowns. Not a lot. We got Joe's got 7 saves. So he's here. That's his 2nd, right? Wasn't it? Yeah. So he's on here twice. And Vera 1.4 WAR. That has him 2nd. That Matthews guy is the one that nearly threw a no-hitter against us. Oh, and there's Vera tied for 3rd in strikeouts. Oh, my favorite pitcher in the whole KBO, though. Chaim Lipschutz. All right, that's as far as we'll go with that. Well, maybe we'll look at hot and cold. There's too many players on there. Some team stats. I'm getting into some stuff that I don't normally get into. So, anyway. All right, league home. What's that even look like? Let's go back to the home screen. All right, so when we started this today, what was our record? 7-2 in April. So it would have been 8-6 when we started. And we're going to end the month at 18-14. I will take that. We'll start the month of May 18-14-1. So we had a 3-4-1 March and a 15-10 April, and I am pleased with that. As we get to know this team, sitting in fourth place, I'm good with that too. Not good with the offense though, but all things considered, the fact that we're sitting where we are sitting, and we have basically the worst offense in this league, I would say it's a bit of an accomplishment, right? We're 6-4 in one-run games. What's our home record? Where's that at? At home, we're 11-6, and we're 7-8 on the road. It's not bad, too. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be terrible because we have a good record, but yeah, that's solid. So we'll take that. Pitching numbers are overall. I'll take all those pitching numbers, honestly. Like 10 team league, if you're 5 or up, good job. But those offensive numbers, especially like, man, on base percentage is worst. Slugging is worst. So obviously on base and slugging, not surprisingly worse. I don't even know what weighted on base average is. I think that's what WOBA is. I couldn't begin to explain to you what it is, but we're the worst in the league at it. I just know that's a fact. 8th in hits, tied for 8th in extra base hits. Home runs is 6th. So we do have some power, and we do have some underachieving power hitters. But like I said at the beginning of the season, if we're going to have to add something, it's probably going to be offensive depth and maybe bullpen. Could jump back to the home screen just to get a quick taste for that. See, the bullpen's starting to come back to earth, actually. So let's look at the entire bullpen. And you'll see there that Lee, 16 2/3, and Minjae Zhang at 19 2/3 have those higher ERAs, and they're throwing a good bulk of the innings outside of the closer and the setup guy, right? So yeah, the bullpen is starting to show that it's not great, but it's doing okay. Setup with Park and closing with Joe, I think, is working out. And the computer seems to be able to get them in games. And one of the things that I do when I have my 2 best relief pitchers, and I don't use them enough because I'm always trying to save them for the proper situation. But if they're your 2 best guys, sometimes you just got to get them in the ball game, right? But all right, Kim down here, he's the newbie. 4 shutout innings, so good job for him. And starting rotation, Moon's on the bubble. Lee being the 33-year-old guy, I'm less concerned. Actually, I think he should do better. He should do better than a 6. So, but I was going to say is if this guy's up and he gets smacked around some, he's a 33-year-old veteran pitcher. He's not a 20-year-old young guy who's still developing. So if we're going to make a change in the rotation, it would probably be Moon going down for somebody else to come up. Who that person would be, is a great question. I don't think... Oh, yeah, they do show their stats. Okay, they must not have started their season the last time I did. So not a ton of success for our starters. But that doesn't... Yeah, that could be neither here nor there. We also have to look at the stamina for some of these guys. If I don't think I want to start Kang. This scares me. This home runs allowed scares the crap out of me. The rest of it might be fine. I mean, but that... maybe I'd consider him. But anyway, that's another day. That's another decision for another day. Offensively, Inhoche doing pretty good, man. So the middle and the top, we're doing all right down to about 5. At least in this batting order against right-handers. Gets a little weak down here. So we'll see. Where are we at with our injured players? Oh, God, there's so many guys because they have all the military service guys on here, too. So our second baseman will be healthy but not able to come back for another week. And then we're weeks and months away from some of these guys returning. All right, so that's it. That's your month. Month of May. Successful month, though. Ends strong. We go 6-1 to end the month. Started out strong. Middle got a little crazy here. 14th through the 19th. Actually, 13th through the 19th. So it was at 6 straight losses. So outside of that window, playing good ball. Unfortunately, those were some of the good teams that we got to figure out a way to beat. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for baseball for today. Thanks for hanging out with us as we go through this journey with the Hanwha Eagles, now 18-14-1, sitting in 4th place, 3.5 back. And we'll move this on. We'll make some progress offline. I'll probably play some games just to get a feel for how some of these folks are doing individually, because it's really tough for me I can't just look at stats all the time and get a read on my players. So next time we pick up the KBO, we might have made some changes, but we'll bring you up to date on all of those as we open up, play some games, and have some fun with the Hanwha Eagles. Thank you for hanging out. It is much appreciated that you're here. Don't be afraid to hit the like and subscribe button if you're on YouTube watching this in the future. And give us a follow. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to do that. Helps us little channels grow into bigger channels, right? All right, have a great night, and we will talk to you soon.